time in the mirror. Chief up for that warlord, trumpet with your eyelids. Try again, violent. Maybe it's a new stain, flyway pilot. Only way to break. Mom's on his way, mom's on his way down. Mom's on his way, mom's on his way down. Holly never knew we couldn't live. I can let her tell you how I feel. Holly never knew we couldn't live. I can let her tell you how I feel. What's you to me? Lay it on me, say it's not me. I don't understand what you're saying softly. You say I'm numb. Yeah, I'm a misled. Black satin and me. When you wait to find me. Lay it on me, lay it on me, lay it on me. Go home, go home, go hard, go home, go hard, go home, go hard, go home. Touch Touchdown like an end zone. Winning circle turning my home. Can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Yeah, these championship rings on my hands now. In my head I'm top 10, yeah, that's hands down. You a squad, know you're looking man down. Funny how foes turn to friends now. Drive a race car like a Tory now. Car filling up, I need product again. Treat the business like a playground, might slide on you. Don't me wrong, might slide on you. Do a backflip, cause I'm mad rich. I'm the definition of what that is. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like an end zone. Winning circle turn to my home. Can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. I'm a warrior, I go back to back, then go back to back. If I top the top, then the double back, and I'm topping that. Yeah, I beat my own records. Yeah, I gotta get money fetish. Same team, I don't set trick. Never dull, this electric. When and put the rigs on my toes. Me and bro, that's the give and go. Stay 100, end zone. Keep them coming. I know. I won't flood my wrist, no, I'm not dumb like that. I just wanna give my mama 100 racks. Go hard, or go home. 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 Touchdown like an end zone. Winning circle turn to my home. Can't get me out of my zone. Go hard, or go home. Go hard, or go home. Crashing the pine on the marble floor. Yeah, put up that sign that we love and joy. Yeah, I want more. Yeah, she want more. Ornaments sports in the flashing lights. She only will hit to a certain song. Her channel is orange, white flannel thong. Come tag along, come tag along. Crash, love lost in a man. Look left, tiptoe to the fan. Scream, take off in a jam. Skid out, crash now. Got a chance. 15 on the blue man. Rain dance with a finger on the trigger. A chance to be playing on the bill. Same tan if you standing on a pillar.
Sitting right, we took it deep down in the cloud. We took a true stand, sitting right.
Yeah, then they got the all matte black. Minutes with a 4-5 patch. Leather with a gold chain rack. Tempted, but my own black. Won't catch her with an all gold mask. Cause she ain't with running away. Opposite of playing cool. Feet up on the 80 dash. Give them off into the pool. Give them signs to play a fool. Cause she is the queen. She kinda got the methods of reach. Follow her lead. Living the system to dye your head green. Part of my ease. Buy you relief. Fish out the water. I'm begging slowly. I guess I will kick it when summer is eve. No dirt, no more sweat. I be treading like me. You gotta be patient so you can mind me. Peace.
Sitting right, we took it deep down in the cloud. We took a true stand, sitting right.
All she want is crash play. She living in that crash play. She give it up for crash play. All she want is crash play. She living in that crash play. I want some of that ice black haze that push down on my well. Every day stay black to white out my mouth. I see bouquets in that water. The stains that's been falling to you. Crashing the pine on the marble floor. Yeah, put up that sign that we love and joy. Yeah, I want more. Yeah, she want more. Ornaments sports in the flashing lights. She only will hit to a certain song. Her channel is orange, white flannel thong. Come tag along, come tag along. Crash, love lost in a man. Look left, tiptoe to the fan. Scream, bitch, take off in a jam. Skid out, crash now. Got a chance. 15 on a nigga. Blue man. Rain dance with a finger on the trigger. A chance if we playing on the bill. Same tan if you standing on a pillar.
Sitting right, we took it deep down in the cloud. We took a true stand, sitting right.
Yeah, then they got the all matte black. Minutes with a 4-5 patch. Leather with a gold chain rack. Tempted, but my own black ass won't catch her with an all gold mask. Cause she ain't with running away. Opposite of playing cool. Feet up on the 80 dash. Give them off into the pool. Give them signs to play a fool. Cause she is the queen. She kinda.
Okay. Yeah. Look. Yeah. Down low. Up top. On my way to the bag at the bus stop. Some blow, some flop. I ain't get my shot yet, but I'm gon' pop. Don't stop. Keep going. I got this mantra in my head and make me keep flowing. Pour shots. Keep pouring. It's no more vodka in my head. Got no release for it. I see a flip, I make a flip. I'm a hustler, I just hit a lick. This that double shift, this that overtime. I'm on my job, player, you know I was born to grind. It's for my people standing up until they back hurt. It's for my people standing up to get the cash, sir. My minimum wage and all my cash clerks. It's I gotta do, but yo, I need the bag first. It's just with me way before my bachelors. They with me, yo, they say I need a master's. They must have never heard me rap, that's a fact word. The system got me on my back, what's the answer? Down low, up top. On my way to the bag at the bus stop. Some blow, some flop. I ain't get my shot yet, but I'm gon' pop. Don't stop, keep going. I got this mantra in my head and make me keep flowing. Pour shots, keep pouring. It's no more vodka in my head, got no release for it. reaping what I sowed, that's what I'm doing, cousin. Keeping to my owns, not how I'm moving, cousin. Black Emperor, open the cash register. Running sales back to back peddlers. How can I help you? How can I shelf you? Dealt with wealth, please help yourself, boo. You hear the way how I be rocking on the beat. I'm a rock star. Boy, I rock it to sleep. I'm a lead from the seasons I spent on my fucking job. And I signed a deal, I just sold that to God. Yeah. Down low, up top. On my way to the bag at the bus stop. Some blow, some flop. I ain't get my shot yet.
What's up? What's up? Tonight, we're going to talk about Donald J. Trump's taxes. We've got the champagne here. Let's go ahead and get rid of that clock. Let's get that out of the way. The first year that Donald Trump was in office, he paid $750 in taxes. The first 2 years. Previous to that, going on 10 years, Donald Trump paid 0 taxes. I got a question for you. Is Donald Trump in jail? Is Donald Trump up on charges? No, he's not. Donald Trump has been tussling with the IRS for the last 10 years. He's been in an audit for the last 10 years. Now, this is what this tells me. That he has, because see, this is how the game goes. Now, Donald Trump did not play the game as well as Fred Trump. Fred Trump was a master of this game. Donald is just a rookie that has been propped up by $425 million left to him by his father and $427 million made by the show The Apprentice. So just those two things alone represent almost $1 billion. Almost $900 million between what his father left him and what the show The Apprentice paid him. That is what has kept him going, because as you dive into these tax returns, he is a lousy business person. See, Fred Trump made money. Fred Trump skirted along the edges. He played the game to the hilt. But see, Fred Trump made money. Donald Trump has been recycling money, because if you take the money he made from The Apprentice and you took the money he got from his father, if he had invested that in the stock market, he would be wealthier than he really is now. So he's not the best business person, which is the lie that he sold America. I'm a great businessman. I don't pay no taxes. You want to know why he ain't paying no taxes? Because he's taking some heavy duty losses. He's taking some heavy. Well, let me get a sip of wine here. Heavy duty losses. And also, they've been playing the game based upon Donald's understanding of what Fred Trump told him, but he doesn't really understand the game. He really doesn't grasp the game. He doesn't know the game. And one of the things that you've got to understand is the game is beautiful. The game is incredible. Like today's training for the corporate toolbox, it was about funding your holding company and how to do it in a tax efficient manner. Last week, I had some awesome consulting calls. 5 consulting calls from people with $1 million or more businesses. And each one was literally blown away at what I had to share with them and how to, essentially, there's one dude, he don't even have to make any more money, but he's going to save money once we get him set up with a holding company. Because he already has companies making money, and dude paid $3 million in taxes last year. We're going to cut that tax bill by about $2 million to $2.2 million. Same revenue. And as I get into this, I understand that no one like this dude at Business Environments who sat me down and told me the game, he opened up my eyes to what is possible. And looking at Trump's tax returns, once again, is Trump up on charges? No. Trump's never going to be up on charges. The fact that they're running an audit on his business expenses for 10 years because he took a tax deduction, he got a tax refund check of $72 million. He got a, I mean, that's racks on racks, man. The racks have racks on 72 million. The racks have all types of stuff that is going on. Racks upon racks upon racks. And I'm here to tell you, hands down, the corporate toolbox is going to be the best course instructive instructive thing that I've ever put out. Ever. Because it addresses this issue. Do you know that aside from your mortgage, your biggest expenses in life is taxes? Go ahead and look at your pay stubs and look at how much money you paid for taxes this year. And imagine if you could get half of that back. What would your life look like if you could cut your tax bill in half? That's a lot of money coming to you. I know one of my exes, she does $130,000 a year. If she could have got half her money back, that would have been about $25,000, about $25,000. That's like $2,000 a month. Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me? So Donald Trump's taxes, because I was reading it, and he is using some of the holding company game. Because Donald Trump has many, many different companies. Many, many different companies. And he has created such a cluster that the Internal Revenue Service is losing its mind trying to audit him because he's created a tremendous paper game. Now, what do I mean by that? You have a holding company. Then you have all of these operating companies. And then with this comes all of these bank accounts. And the money's going in these operating companies, money's coming out to the holding company. Money is just circulating, money's just swimming everywhere. It's very hard to keep track of that much money in that many companies under that many legal entities. It's confusing. It's straight up confusing. What can we learn from Donald John Trump? You need to get yourself a holding company. And you need to get yourself some businesses. so you can start playing this money game. See, it is a game. My dude, the Wall Street Trapper, most of America is playing the wrong game. Go to work, earned income, which has the highest tax rate of any source of income. Earned income. You know, all of these football players, you know, these guys who were in college last year who are playing today. Do you understand that when they took a $9 million signing bonus, for each million that they took, they had to pay $400,000 in taxes? 400 large. Because they are essentially an employee of the team. And that is earned income. You have earned income, you have dividend income, you have royalties, you have dividends. Each form of compensation is taxed differently. But earned income has the highest taxable rate out of everything. Out of everything. And like just diving through Donald Trump's, because I mean, essentially, Donald Trump's never going to jail for this. They will be duking and dealing with this after Donald J. Trump dies, because he's created such a massive level of paperwork. It is crazy. But this dude who had companies that were generating tens to hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue had the audacity, had the imitable gall to pay $750 in income tax. $750 in income tax. $750. You, yes, you, watching this live stream, paid more in income taxes than your current president. You pay more in taxes if you have a $25,000 a year job. You paid more in taxes than he did. And he just started paying taxes when he became president, because 10 years before that, he paid no taxes. Zero. None. Is Donald Trump in jail? Nope. Donald Trump ran for the presidency of the United States and won. And if they had stuff where they could have put him in jail, ended his freedom, you think it would have came out by now? They don't have nothing on this dude. Nothing. Let me see what y'all doing in this chat, because the chat's moving pretty quick. Oh yeah. Well, see, I put that thumbnail up because Donald Trump is about to be treated like a black man. They starting, because see, he's got a problem. He's got $300 million in loans that he's personally guaranteed. So the financial vice is tightening. You need your soul glow? Trump would have to use a whole jar of that Murray's. What's going on? John the Guillory, you saw correctly. He paid $750 in federal income tax. Oh, Fred. Now let's go ahead. There is a distinct difference between Fred Trump and Donald Trump. Fred played the game better. Fred was a gangster. Fred knew how to play the game. Fred, because see, here's the difference. Fred actually played the game and made money. Donald is a seriously proficient in losing money. Fred made money. And Fred used holding companies, trust, and other tax shelters to shield hundreds of millions of dollars. Fred was the savant of the tax game. Donald Trump is just a hapless rookie. Because see, Donald Trump had the inheritance his father left him. His father literally left him $500 million, and then the $427 million he made from The Apprentice. This is what kept Donald and his schemes afloat. But we're coming to a reckoning. Well, I don't really think that this is going to be enough to torpedo his presidential election. Here's the thing. The people who support Donald Trump love Donald Trump. Love him. Donald Trump could kill their grandbaby in front of them and they would be like, that wasn't Donald. It was a doppelganger. It wasn't Donald. My Donald J. Trump wouldn't do nothing like that. They trying to frame him right before their eyes, and they wouldn't believe it. So the people who love Trump, who are indoctrinated in Trump Nation, they're still going to vote for Trump. There's a really good chance that Trump could win. I don't care what the polls say, because we've been here before. Until election day and election night, and until those results come in, that's the only thing I'm going to believe. Because as far as I'm concerned, Donald Trump has just as good of a chance to be reelected as he was elected. So until election day comes and the votes roll in, I ain't believing nothing. What's up, people? The emperor has no clothes. That's pretty much. Logistics finest. Is he a bad businessman or is he unscrupulous? He knows how to run a business. He makes choices to get the money and run, not for the long-term health of the business. Logistics finest. He is a bad business person. How did he get this huge $72 million refund check? Because of massive losses. That's how he got that check. If you dive into his records, you will see that his businesses have not been making money. And, you know, I'm quite sure somewhere he's got a personal trust. Because make no mistake about it. This is how rich people operate on his level. Donald Trump has trust accounts for wife, his son, his children, that is apart and separate from the business. So Donald Trump, his businesses can be going out of business. However, his family will be taken care of. Rest assured. Because that's one lesson that Fred Trump taught Donald. Take care of family. So his sons, his wife, they're taken care of. It doesn't matter what goes down with the business because Donald Trump is 77 years old. He's been doing this for about 57 years. I rest assure you that there is a trust fund for his youngest son that has millions of dollars in it that is apart and separate from the business. And no matter what happens to the business, no matter what happens with these loans, his son will be taken care of. Right, Martin? He became president. Wesley Snipes didn't understand how to play the game. Pretty much. Logistics finest, if he's going to take his investors' money and run, that makes him a thief. Donald Trump gets money. Donald Trump was making money from the Philippines. He was making money from Scotland. He was making money from Saudi Arabia. Donald Trump had money coming in. See, this is the whole tax game. Like what I'm doing with the corporate citizen. And, you know, September's almost over and the price is going to go up. So if you want to be part of the corporate toolbox experience, links below, because this will be the finest course that I've ever put together. Pretty much. Oh, I couldn't miss this. This is so juicy because we got two Trumps to look at. We have Fred Trump to look at, and we have Donald Trump to look at. Fred Trump played the game correctly. Fred Trump committed borderline criminal acts and got away with it. Now, Donald Trump, Donald did not learn as well from his father as he should have. He did not learn. Yes, Martin C. Tutwiler, taxes are your biggest expense, and a lot of folks don't understand that. Hey, Roger. Likewise, like a wise man once told me, the Internal Revenue Code is the yellow brick road. Learn that and become the wizard. Pretty much. $650 LLCs and corporations. You knew some of them. Well, see, I'm going to share something with y'all. There are rich people. Now, this isn't like something a normal person would even conceive. If you're a person, let's say you got businesses that do $100 million a year. You've got a unique set of problems. Taxes is being one of your biggest problems. There are many people that create corporations intentionally that lose money so they can offset the gains for their taxes. It's very easy to create a business that loses money. Very, very easy. This is a corporate tax strategy that is used by the upper echelon. Like I said, you know, a regular person, you making 2, 3, 4 million a year. You ain't even thinking about that. But you're making 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 million a year. That's a whole new ball game. You're not worried about rent. You're not worried about car payments. You're not worried about credit card payments. You ain't even worried about that stuff. That is the least of your worries. This is why these guys have wives who have like a credit card with a $100,000 limit and they can spend whatever they want and they never get questioned about their spending. Never. Hey, honey, I just bought a Ferrari today. Well, that's nice, dear. I'll be with you in a second. I need to look at this spreadsheet. Those are the conversations that are going on in those households. dead game boxing. How many more millionaires and billionaires are there in the U.S.? Well, there's like 2,600 billionaires worldwide, and I think we have about 20 million millionaires in the United States. But once you start getting to Trump's level, that's going to go down to, let's say, less than 1,000 families. Less than 1,000 families in the United States. So it's not like it's that many people who are playing these games. Don't hate to play or learn the game, Royston Gibbs. When you're in business, you need people, lawyers, and accountants, enrolled agents. I would say accountants and enrolled agents are even more important. Being the bartender, I paid more than one paycheck. This is why Trump did not want to show his taxes. He didn't want to show his taxes because if you like, wait a minute, he paid no taxes for 10 years? And when he became president, he paid $750 in taxes? I paid more than that last month. What? What's going on? What? Wait. Hold up. See, this is what he was alluding to during those presidential debates when he was talking about he was smart and how he played the game. Understand that when Donald Trump had these bankruptcies, they were corporate bankruptcies. They were not personal bankruptcies. Let me go ahead and pull apart the curtains so you can understand. Donald Trump could have had a personal net worth of $100 million and still file corporate bankruptcy. One of the things that I'm trying to impress upon people is when you create an LLC, which is a corporation, the corporation is separate from you. So you can be living in a mansion. You can be driving a Rolls Royce. You can have a private plane and still file corporate bankruptcy, and your personal assets are not impacted whatsoever. Trump filed bankruptcy 4 or 5 times, right? Did Trump stop living in the penthouse? Nope. Did Trump stop flying on his private jet? Nope. See, you got to understand the game. This is why everybody needs a corporation, so you can begin to play the game. Because what just happened when Donald Trump became presidency? The biggest corporate tax break ever. I'm about to tell you something. Everyone thinks the corporate tax rate is 21%. Actually, it depends on if you take money out the company or if you leave money in the company. Tax rate's different. It ain't 21%. It's 15%. 15%. Let's see. Let's see. We jumped up. Vote Donald Trump out, save the world. Peppermint tea. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is the game. Goddess, no, that's actually 100% correct. So becoming president brought more attention to his tax situation. Absolutely. Hundreds, Chris Hill, 100. Thomas Dickerson Fred was from a different era. Jonathan J. Donald Trump paid no taxes 2016, 2017. He donated his salary and his kids control his company. He has no income. Another nothing burger. Jonathan J., you're absolutely wrong. Donald Trump refused to divest himself of his companies. His kids may run the companies, but Donald Trump is legally connected to all of his companies. Therefore, he's still making money. How's that for a nothing burger? You don't understand the game. Go ahead and read the article. Donald J. Trump did not divest himself of his companies. So even though his kids may be managing it, he still owns it, which means he still gets checks. Not a check, but checks. So put that in your nothing burger and eat it. Once again, these folks who love Donald Trump, he can do no wrong. If Donald Trump was pissing on the Pope, they would say Donald Trump is just raining on the Pope's head. Guarantee it. Ben the bartender, they had pitchforks looking for Obama's birth certificate, but barely a whisper on the tax returns. Well, it's kind of interesting because it's like, we ain't looking. I think his brother died. The name is Bacchus. That's true wealth. No matter what happens to you or your business, your family's taken care of. Pretty much. Ben the bartender, Wesley had the wrong people, period. Yeah, that whole sovereign energy thing, Steve Jameson, doesn't work. Well, I'm not really doing overseas stuff because I don't do that. Sunrise Printing and Signs. Thank you for the $20 super chat. Should I get the corporate toolbox or should I do the art of holding? I have an LLC that does $200,000 a year. I've had it for the last 2 years. This will be the third year. I want to play the holding company game. Sunrise Printing and Signs. You want to get the corporate toolbox. The art of holding, I'm not messing with that. I'm not selling that anymore. I'm not pushing that anymore. The corporate toolbox, we're going to talk about legal entities, how to set up your corporations, and we're going to also get into branding. We're going to get into marketing and so forth. So you want to get the corporate toolbox, not the art of holding. Only reason that I haven't hidden that is there are people who are still in it. Royston, yeah, Fred Trump not only was seen at a Klan rally, Fred Trump got arrested and he was represented by the same attorney for 2 other people, which means they knew these folks before they went to the rally. Harvard professor Alan Lichtman have accurately predicted every presidential election since 1984. He says Biden will win because Trump's in trouble. Trump is definitely in trouble. But once again, until election day, I see those results. That's what I'm going to call it. Troy Glover, Donald Trump paid more for sex than he did for taxes. Absolutely. You think that current wife just happened? That's an arrangement. JL Viz, is the corporate toolbox going to help people with earned income cut taxes in half? JL Viz, no. If you have a job where you're earning earned income, you're going to have to put certain things into play to cut your taxes in half. If you just have a job, they ain't gonna cut it. They got Al Capone. That was one of the trumped up charges they did for Al. To be honest, there's a lot of elite businessmen that aren't paying taxes. That's all I got to say. Steve Jameson, that is one of the differences, because essentially we're only talking about a small group of people. And what I'm doing with the corporate toolbox is bringing those advanced tax strategies and then teaching people how to make money and create businesses so they can play that corporate game. Hey, we're going to do this, Erica. We're going to do this. Orlando, Enron execs lived lavishly while the court went down. Absolutely. Well, see, Oprah has earned income. See, Oprah, this is one of the things that rappers, NFL players, TV personalities, they get these big checks in their name. And essentially, they don't know to create a holding company and to create many companies to shuffle that money around. Trump. I mean, just read the papers, because just reading about Trump's mismanagement of money and his inept attempt to be like his father, you can learn so much. You can learn so much. Pretty much. The fixerism, I guess you didn't. I'm not even talking about any connection with Russia. I've not even mentioned that. I guess you're not paying attention to what I'm saying. Is you can learn from what Trump did, what Fred did, what I'm teaching with the art of holding, how to set yourself up where you can play the game too. That's what I'm talking about, Mr. The fixerism. I guess you didn't read the. I ain't mentioned. Have I ever mentioned anything about Russian collusion? I ain't even brought. What? See, you Trump people, y'all are seeing ghosts where there are no ghosts. He's a crook. Ganja, I absolutely believe he's playing these fools. Hey. Well, essentially, when Obama tried to get the judge in, the Senate was a GOP Senate, and they didn't want to. They actually did not deploy the same rules they used against Obama for Trump, because it's the same situation. Essentially, Ruth Bader Ginsburg died seriously 6 weeks before in the major election. So based upon what they said and what they did to Obama, they should not be doing it. But they're like, don't look at this. Don't look. This ain't the same. It looks the same. It tastes the same. It even feels the same. But we're here to tell you it ain't the same. So we're going to go ahead and put this little young whippersnapper on the Supreme Court so she can influence and give us a conservative majority for decades to come. Being the bartender, I know. I ain't mentioned nothing about, I'm sitting here talking about the tax game. I'm talking about creating multiple companies, creating a holding company. I don't even know where that fool came from because I didn't mention nothing about no Russian collusion. I don't even know where he came from with that. So once again, go ahead, read the article about Russia's, Trump's taxes. Read about all of the LLCs. Read about all of the interests. Because see, here's something else that you will not read in the article. Many of those companies were paying Trump dividends, which are taxed differently than earned income. And this is one of the things, like today, I did a training session on how to tax efficiently fund your holding company. Because recently I just bought a Porsche and I had some people who was like, why didn't you buy it in the company name? So it was a tax deduction. First of all, the Internal Revenue Service is very strict about what qualifies as a vehicle purchase. Now, I did buy the X5 in the company name because it was a prop, because you can claim all kinds of stuff if you make movies. But I didn't want to do it this time because I've changed my corporate strategy. And see, this is the game. You embed your tax efficiency in your corporate strategy. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They'll go all year long, then around tax season, they'll start looking for ways to reduce their taxes when if you had created your organization correctly, your tax efficiency would have been embedded in your corporate structure, which is the reason that I did not buy the Porsche in the company name. I don't have to. I mean, I can tell you right now, next 10 years, I'm going to pay little to nothing in taxes, and I'm going to make millions. Let me say this again. Over the next 10 years, I'm going to make millions and pay little to nothing in taxes. Why? Because of the corporate strategy. Let's see. Barron Trump's already worth millions at 14, and that's the power of generational wealth. I guarantee you, there is a trust fund for Barron Trump already. And I 100% agree with you that he's worth millions already. Well, I'm going to say Fred Trump was the master. Fred Trump was the sensei. Fred Trump was the kung fu master. Donald Trump's a rookie. Yep, income shifting, because essentially, let me go ahead and explain it to you, really just give you the top lines. I'm going to put myself on a salary. The salary is going to, because essentially when you choose an S Corp, let's go ahead and talk about this. An S corporation is not a special corporation. An S corporation designation is for how your corporation is taxed. And part of that designation is you must have yourself a reasonable salary. So you must pay yourself what you would pay someone else to do your job, essentially. So I'm going to put myself on a very high salary, $350,000 a year. That's going to be my salary, and that's going to be exposed to taxes. The rest of the money is going to stay in the company because this is the game. If I was to take the money out the company like Omni and the Hellcat, who's up on tax evasion charges and piracy, I would be exposing that money to taxation, but paying the marginal corporate tax, leaving the money in the corporation, deploying the money to another company to make more money is how you win the game. I'm like, it's a beautiful thing when you fully understand what I'm saying, because the training that I did today, and we're going to be talking about this next week, and we're going to be having a live webinar Thursday at 7 p.m. The training that I'm putting in together will teach you how to have tax efficiency in your corporation for the next 10 years. Because like essentially, I can make millions of dollars a year and not pay $400,000 per million. Because that's what the uninitiated, that's what the person who makes a lot of money who doesn't understand the tax game. Like if I was a rapper, you know what I would do? I would put my music in a holding company. I would never take a check in my name. Never. I would create a holding company, put myself on a $500,000 a year salary, and have the record companies pay my holding company, create additionals. I would, like if I was a rapper, I would create a holding company, I would create a publishing company, I would create a merch company, and these would all be part of my holding company structure. And I would put myself on salary, and all those checks that come in, instead of paying $400,000 per million, I would be paying maybe 80 to 100K per million and saving 300 to 350,000 to put back in the business to make my business more profitable, to make more money. So at the end of the day, you got a business that's cranking out you millions of dollars. That's how you play the game. That's the way you play the game. But so many people don't know how to play the game. Dividends are taxed at 0, 15%, and 20%. Yes, because dividends do not get taxed until you pull them out the company and then you report them on your personal income tax form, and your dividends will be taxed at whatever income rate that you're at. But see, you can, as the owner of a company, you have so much control. You have so much control over how your money's taxed. Franz, yes, Trump did things that are illegal. Pretty much, so did Fred. I mean, seriously, if I was a rapper, I would never sign a contract in my name. Would never do it. Would never do it. You couldn't pay me to sign a contract in my name if I was a rapper. Football players are kind of screwed. Yes, I think Tech 9 is one of those rappers, but he's an old head. It is rare. I know, Terrell. I've paid $400,000 on this million, then I blew another $200 million on a watch, so I've lost $600,000 out of my $1 million. That ain't how you play the game, man. Yeah, because essentially, you know, like I could go ahead and talk about the overview of the game. See, the devil is in the details, because the training that I did today, I go into the details, because do you know when you have a holding company, you can loan your operating company's money and your operating companies have to pay you back? What does that do? That creates a tax-free environment. I just gave y'all some, I mean, if this was church, y'all should be hoopering, hollering, hallelujah. I mean, there's so many folks who have no clue that there are many bright, smart entrepreneurs out there who have these killer businesses who don't know this. And they're paying way more taxes than they could be paying if they knew the game. Pretty much, because one of the things that's going to happen, because I'm very, very excited. This week is going to be the end of September, and I'm going to wrap up how to set up your corporate structure and all this other stuff. And next month, we're going to get into branding. This is what separates, like branding, like this is an Apple computer that I'm using. Branding is the reason that Apple, and this computer will last me 4 years, whereas a PC, they start running into issues about a year and a half in. Branding is the reason, because this computer cost me $5,500. Branding is the reason that Apple gets away with that. Branding is the reason I paid, I think, $750 for this stainless steel watch. Branding, we're going to get into that heavily. All right, Terrell. My friend had houses in 2 different cities, and they allowed him to pay himself a per diem of $2,000 a month, tax-free, when he worked in his house far away from the corporate headquarters. Hey, there's so much game, man. There's so much game. All right, ES. I know Fred Sanford, because essentially what's going to happen, because like I said, so many people don't know what they don't know. There are a lot of bright, smart entrepreneurs out there who have killer businesses, and they've never had the mentorship, because like right now, there are so many people here on YouTube who have a successful YouTube channel, have a successful Instagram page, and they're making millions of dollars, and they're paying a boatload of taxes. I mean, their taxes are looking like phone numbers because they don't know this stuff. They don't know this stuff. I know, Martin. See, 50 Cent, he's smarter than he looks. He really is. Health Before Wealth, I don't know of any books. I got this knowledge from playing the game. I'm writing my own playbook. Well, Steve Jarvis, let's talk about 50 cents. Did she sue? Because see, there's something that you could put up into your corporation is called an indemnification clause. If your corporation does something where the corporation gets sued, they cannot come after you. But the same thing is if you get sued and you properly separate your corporate interest from yourself, they can't get at that corporate money. It really is depending on crossing the I's, dotting the T's, and there are so many other things. And see, when we get into the larger money, because one of the things I'm going to do is get into some of the advanced tactics, because like if you have a business like mine, it doesn't really matter where you form your holding company. But if you have a local business like a car wash or a printing company, you need to form your holding company in your state. Well, I'm going to be doing a lot more videos about the corporate life and how you can play the corporate game and how you can win the corporate game. Because, like I said, I have a commitment that is my goal to create 50,000 corporate citizens over the next 5 years. Fred Sanford, yeah, Biden's been getting the paycheck. Fluid. I will send out that offer for H undergrad tonight because actually I forgot about that. Thanks for reminding me. Oh, the devil's also always in the details, but you can set up because like my old corporate structure, I used to rent this house to my business because now I've thought of a better way to do it. I'm not doing that anymore. So essentially, I'll break that down in the course for anyone that wants to do it because, if you're making like $100K a year and you're paying like $2,000 a month rent, that's $25,000 a year. That is a very large deduction on $100K. That's a very large deduction. I got taxes like phone numbers. I mean, hey, what some of these young entrepreneurs are paying the taxes is ridiculous. All right, Pody. Because essentially, what I want you to, like I said, Donald Trump's been doing this for decades. Donald Trump's never going to go to jail for this. Let me go ahead and put it to you gently. If you create a complicated company, guess what? Your taxes are going to be complicated. And the more complicated your taxes are, the more room you have for error. Oh, well, oh my God, we got 650 companies under this holding company. Oh, oops. My bad. We understand, Mr. Trump. Just pay us what you owe us. See, this corporate game, even corporate crime is better than regular crime. Corporate crime, white collar crime is better than regular crime. You can make more money, and if you get caught, do less time. Oh, see, there was a book. Hold on. There was a book years ago, and it was from this site called this place called Lupanics, Lompaic, and it talked about creating a church for tax purposes. You ever wonder why you see all of these storefront churches or these churches out of someone's houses? That's one of the reasons. But we will get into that. So go ahead. Let me find the article because I got it pulled up on my computer. All right. Put this in the chat for the people who want to. All right, so this is the article for Donald Trump. Good Lord, I did credit card scams for years and did 6 months of prison. Good Lord. Yep, you should incorporate in Texas. Corporate jail is better too, for real. Martin C. Tutwiler and only Donald Trump, the rich and the wealthy, play this game and lobbies past ties to legalize it. Oh yeah, because essentially what I've been doing, which could have left me open, so I stopped it. I was paying a lot of corporate bills with my personal credit cards. Now I have 2 corporate cards, and I'm going to start paying all of my business bills with that corporate credit card. Peppermint, yeah, I know. You're playing the wrong game. Because essentially That Wall Street Trapper, if you didn't see it, Google the Wall Street Trapper. He talks to David Never Sleeps. This is an awesome interview because when this man started making $10,000 a month legally, that compared to the money he was making illegally. It's a really good interview. Fluid, what's the main difference between H undergrad and corporate toolbox? H undergrad doesn't include anything about legal structures. I purposely sold H undergrad and the corporate toolbox separately. They were separate. So what I'm going to do tonight when I get off of here is go to my computer and I'm going to send everyone that signed in H undergrad a generous discount on the corporate toolbox. And I'm going to do that tonight. Also, the corporate toolbox has brand new training that isn't part of H undergrad or the old art of holding. Totally brand new training, totally new information, new things that never were included in those courses. If it's earned income, JL Vids, let's say you had a job and that's earned income. You're taxed before you get that money. So there is no tax advantage of funneling that money into a corporation. Also, if you funnel that money in the corporation and you don't do it the correct way, you're going to pay taxes on the profits that that money makes. So that, you got to understand that. Thank you, David. Oh, income shifting. We'll be talking about that as well. So I'm going to send out something tonight to H undergrad. It will be through the hustlerslifeskills.com website. I'll send that out as soon as I get off. But I'm here to tell you, because essentially, let me go ahead and share a little bit. It's my goal to make $5 million next year. 2021, my goal is to make $5 million. Let me give you the breakdown. I'm going to take $360 as salary. That's more than enough money for me to do what I need to do in life. And then I'm going to take $750 as dividends. So that's going to be money that's I'm going to put in my pocket. And I'm going to pay high taxes on that $360,000. And I'm going to pay my proportional tax rate on my dividends, because I will not pay any payroll taxes or other stuff on those dividends. And then I'm going to leave the other $4 million in the company to work. And that's how you get wealthy, my friends. Like, Omni and the Hellcat, a lot of people love the channel. They love him because, he's a personable dude. He seems like he'd be someone fun to hang with. But this dude don't know nothing about corporate strategy, because essentially if he was my client, he would still have 40 million of that 50 million. Let me tell you what I would have done. I was like, what's up, Mr. Hellcat? Okay, you have how many children? You've got 4 kids? Well, what we're going to do is create a trust fund that you get to manage for each child, and we're going to put 10 million in each trust fund. And what you can do as the organizer and manager of the trust fund, if you need to borrow some of that money for business purposes, you can borrow it, but you got to pay it back. And if he had just did that move right there, the feds couldn't have not touched that money. Why? Because it was no longer his money. It was his children's money. He was just the manager of the money. And he's still been doing what he needed to be doing. But once again, you got all these folks out here who hit a good lick. They don't understand how money works. They don't understand how to keep money. They don't understand how to play the game. And, I'm seriously thinking about creating a corporate citizen apparel company, with T-shirts like I play the game, some other stuff that's going on. All right, so that's all I'm going to say for you guys. I will see you guys in the next one. If you want to become a member of the Corporate Toolbox Experience, go below, and I will talk to you guys later.